Merry Christmas. Really sorry about the creaky chair. Well, I say Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a really good Christmas. It's coming up to New Year, so figured I'd do a little video sort of summing up what's gone down this year. Really, I've got a little cheat sheet in front of me, just for little bits and pieces. Right. So yeah. Okay. Let's go. Favorite pedal of the year. For me, hands down, it's real close. But for me, it's the Fuzzrocious Bong Gripper version 2. If any of those people who don't know who Bong Gripper are, here is like their latest album cover. Please go and listen to their music. It's awesome. If you like that kind of music, like really slow, just like doomy, it's awesome music. Yeah, love those guys and love that pedal. The dude did an awesome job of designing that with Ryan. The one that came in a real close second to that was the Lateral Sound Brute. It's a pedal that he's not put into production yet, or I don't know if he will put into production. I think he wants to probably tweak it a little bit, maybe, I don't know. You would have to ask John at Lateral Sound. Description or link right here, and be a description in the link below. There'll also be a link to my demo of that pedal. I'm sure if you nag him enough, he will build you one. It's great. It has sort of all the dirtiness you need. It's got a really cool clean bend. Like I say, between those two, the Bong Gripper and the Brute, it's super close because I use both of them. I literally can't take the Bong Gripper off my board, which is why, to be fair, it's #1, but only just because the Brute just sounds so cool next to it. Okay, and then moving on, I started a Moog collection this year. I heard that they were discontinuing the Mooga Fuga pedals, and just felt obliged almost. Like I needed to get more before they get stupidly expensive, and 2 can get really hard to find because there's a couple that really are, but there's a few that really aren't. Upsettingly so. There's a couple that I've missed out on deals, and sort of like the last minute someone's pulled out. When the news dropped that Moog were stopping production of the pedals, I jumped on and immediately got a few of the really obvious ones, so like the low pass filter, the ring mod. Both of those are awesome. I already had my Clusterflex, and I was really lucky enough to find a bass Murph, which is not made anymore. They make a MIDI Murph now, or they did make a MIDI Murph, I should say. Part of me kind of wishes I had a MIDI Murph, and I might look for one because I really like the MIDI capability in the Clusterflex. But I've found a little way around that with the new plans that I have for some new boardage. But yeah, I've got 4 now. They're really huge. They look really cool. There's nothing that sounds like them. I'm really sorry. I'm just gonna say that now. There is nothing that sounds as good as the Clusterflex. The stuff that for me, that's my opinion. I've done loads of videos on my Clusterflex. It can do so much more than the standard chorus flanger, and I think it's totally worth its space on the board. And it's the white one as well, so it's kind of worth a bit more because it's limited edition. Okay, so yeah, I'm always on the lookout for those. I mean, there's the Phaser, there's the Delay, a few others. One more, I think there's a Freakbox. I did used to have a Freakbox. Sadly, I had to sell it because I wasn't really using it for what it should be used for at the time, and I needed the money to sort of go out and grab something that I would use at the time, which was my Alpha Omega. On that point, I'm really looking forward to trying to get hold of the Darkglass plugin, the Neural, I think, DSP plugin, and trying that one out on, because now I have my Mac, I do a little bit more recording at home, and it'd be really cool to have that, just something there that's really cool and sounds really nice. Has speaker emulation now in the version 2, and it'd be super cool to try that out and just have that as a home base so that I'm not dragging all my gear around. But yeah, I think for me, I always really, especially with my 2-note stuff now, I really enjoy recording straight. out of the amp with it not plugged into a speaker. I actually think it sounds great, and yeah, and anyone who follows me on Instagram will know that I went into the studio recently with Six Instill Sunday to finish up recording for the album, tinged with sadness and joy, and that's cool to record an album. Obviously, for those I haven't announced it on here, and for anyone who follows me on my Instagram knows, and on Facebook, know that I've stepped down from the band playing live, and I wanted just to finish off the year and get the songs that we've done but not recorded and get them down and recorded. And now I've completely stepped back totally from the mixing or anything sort of process. I've just sort of left the guys to it. I'm just leaving them to release them. When the album comes out, I'll be sure to share it on here and give it a plug. I do have a few of the stems from one of the tracks. I'm going to play a super short clip of some of the bass sounds just clicking through on one part, so it won't give away the song. I'm really happy with how it sounds. Might sound different on the album, like I said. I'm recorded everything, and the guys, I've just taken a complete step back from that band now. So yeah, and they'll just let me know when it's done, and then we can start sharing. And on the live music front, firm that is totally and utterly saved my bacon, I think pretty much twice this year, has been Ashdown. They're super cool. Every time I speak with them, they're super helpful. They just want to any way they can help. We were getting ready to go and do some recording with Stealth Moose, my band, and just play a load of gigs really in quick succession. And I've mentioned it a few times on the channel in a few other videos. My CTM has not been around for a while because it's been really poorly. It's all sorted now, back and working again, but for a while it was pretty much out of action. It was unusable. It was just something in the preamp or the power amp was broken, and all it was doing was being really distorted. I didn't have a clean sound, and for some parts in Moose it's really important. I need a clean sound, and also it just sort of limited the overall volume. I was really lucky to be able to ask Ashdown if they had anything that they could do to help me out. They had a B-stock AVM 600 head in stock. I'm not going to say anything about prices or anything like that. It was just super helpful, made me not worry. It didn't break the bank. I had it 2 days later, and it was just, the thing is like new. Have it. I'm considering, dare I say it, a 3 amp rig. It's probably not going to happen. It's a great amp. I need to get my ass in gear and do a little demo. This is like recommendations or just bands that I've either really got into this year or have released new stuff this year. Number one, and loads of people, especially some of my musical friends, know, probably have been really annoying to them, to be fair. It's a band called Ginger from Ukraine. They're amazing. I literally went through a point of basically 2 months where that's all I was listening to was Ginger. I think I heard Pisces really late at night and was nearly turned it off, and then she goes into this brutal chorus where she does ridiculous screams, and but she also does clean singing as well, and it's just the juxtaposition of that is really cool. All their stuff is heavy as hell. It's so good. So if you haven't checked out Ginger, definitely do. Their new single Ape is stupidly good, like stupidly good. And they're doing a little mini EP, which I think is actually coming out early next year. A band that most people know that I love is Tosca. Rabia Massad, Ben Minor, Dave Hollingworth, big YouTube guys. They finally released their album, Fire by the Silos, and I got to go see them live in Birmingham. That album is ridiculous. It's so good. Like, it's an album that you need to put on, sit down and just listen to, or put on in the car. That's just what we did. When I first listened to it, me and a mate just popped it on in the car. That's the first time I actually listened to it in total, in completeness, was actually the day before I went to see them on tour. It was probably a couple, like 3 or 4 days after the release of the album, maybe, or when I'd actually been able to download it. Because, you know, being a dad, you can't just normally sit down of an evening and listen to a load of music. And I wanted to listen to it properly as well, and, you know, not sort of one earbud in, sort of kind of take it and just be really immersed in it. And it's incredible. The sounds on it are so cool. It made me want a Moog synth, so cheers for that, Rabia. It just sounds so huge. It's really. And finally, a band that I toured with earlier this year, it's Fractal Universe. Awesome guys, and they're from France. Their music is heavy. It's really cool, and they are such nice guys as well. They were like, as ever, like they were from France. We didn't know each other at all. By the end of the week-long tour, we all got on really well. We were rocking out. It's cool. Awesome guys. One of your riffs will forever be stuck in my head, and it's this. Yeah, so that, here's to 2019. Like I say, hopefully, or whenever the Sixins album is out, I'll be sure to give it a shout and let you all guys know. Also, my other project 2, hopefully gonna have an EP out at some point this year. That's what we'd like, but it's just the 2 of us. And ideally, Stealth Moose will have another EP out next year. First single from that EP, or the forthcoming EP. Go check that out. It's just a little lyric video, and there's some bits of footage in there as well. It's really cool to do. Here's to 2019. Have a great New Year's, guys, and see you all soon.